practice. I've seen it in other countries. We've been doing it. So, what's important?
So, Senator, one of the foremost objectives of the 2015 legislative law was to liberalize the sector. That has been achieved. The sector is open now to private participants. And currently, like I was saying earlier, we have a private company in Blackouts County. We have Jungle there. We have LEC Energy. And over time, we're hoping that it will expand. We've had people stop our offices to express interest in generation, but I mean, they've come, we will come back, and engagements are ongoing. We know that more private involvement in the sector will ease the burden on LEC, certainly.
We're not looking for private investors to generate, or to distribute. You got generation with LEC.
Well, Senator, you must first have the power. You might have the generation capacity to distribute.
But that's the question I'm asking. Are we not having private players because we don't have the generation capacity to trade to private players?
So, like I was saying, you must first have the generation capacity.
So explain that.
They don't have monopoly. Private companies can come for generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the challenge? Because there's no challenge there.
Exactly.
If you can drive the companies away, isn't that everything has more powerful?
So there's an thing in the room, and that is why I was leaving my question to work. So let's adjust. Let's adjust the elephant that is in the room.
So before that, one of the reasons why we're here is because of the Jamaican Sober raised the issue that electricity in some of the counties are not being managed properly. So there were all the concerns coming up from private entities. So I think we should.
Yeah, so you are answering?
No, I responded to that question, Senator.
Listen.
Yes, sir.
I can't remember any hours ago. What happened with the PSV substation?
The PSV substation, like I said from the beginning, most of our substation was stretched. When it was built from the beginning, it was meant to host 7 megawatts, each of the 2 transformers. But now we are as far as 13 megawatts, so it's overstretched. That's why we are doing the investment in that substation to upgrade it to 132 to have an extension of the substation, which will take another 12 months to complete. But in the meantime, we have temporary solution we are doing to address that. The cable, one of the cable, to respond directly to a question, got burnt. For every time I get burnt, it trips. The fire cut off. I will leave with Thomas to come on the technical side to explain in detail. From my little idea again in the engineering field that I've understood is to overstretching the cable like that, it gets burnt. But the last one that happened was a truck that was passing around here at the New Junction, the medical center. It hit about 22 kV line. The way it hit it, the tension, the impact felt on the substation. But because of the substation being overstretched, so it happened. But now I approved last week, we started addressing that, but that's temporary. The sustainable solution is to overhaul the whole substation.
So that's sabotage.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No evidence to show that.
Because what happened at PSV happened 2 times less than a month, correct?
Yeah, and they were not the same, but what happened first was inside the PSV substation on the cable. It got burnt because it was overstretched. Sorry. It got burnt because it was overstretched. The second one that happened, it happened right at the EAW junction. The truck was turning the road. Well, there's a heavy truck that hit our 22 kV line that sent feedback to the
They
sub.
affected the substation.
Yes, sir.
So in less than less than a month, the substation has been affected twice.
Yes, sir.
It is not sabotage.
No evidence to show that.
Okay, I wanted that clarity before I proceed.
Yes, sir.
What the complaint here and the concern that we have, when you were nominated
Yes,
to take over LEC and during the period before your nomination and even immediately after your nomination, LEC could not blink. LEC could not blink for days, if not weeks. And I went all on radio and said, LEC, talking point gone. Nobody can talk LEC. But before I left the radio station, LEC started blinking again. Was it really season or last season?
Technical problem.
Technical or what? I want to know that answer before I can ask you my last question.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Leon. Very wonderful question. I'm telling you, even if you can have all the rain coming today, you still have outage if you can import. Because the whole reading about rainy season, Mount Coffee is just 57 megawatts. And I said here, our entire demand, peak demand now is 142. So where will we get it? So what happened, it wasn't blinking, indicated that the team at LEC worked, 98% Liberian, we all worked around the clock to make sure we respond to timing, maintenance, recalibrating, so many things, closing loopholes to use our internal resources to replace transformers, so many things. Yes, at the same time, bringing in, leveraging our regional network to bring in additional power so that people could get electricity. And if you see this field, we've increased the supply coming from out from 40 to 60 megawatts. That has also helped to bring sustainability. Our thinking is, our objective is to really move so that it will not be like rainy season or dry season. So to answer your question, you did not make a mistake by telling me that when people LEC is not blinking. It wasn't blinking because the team really worked hard to make sure it wasn't blinking. It was not because of the rainy season. It was in addition to the rainy season. Rainy season was a supplement as well. So, in combination with all other things that we did to make it work, including yourself, you, the legislature, the government, the support was provided to LEC to make sure that the next stay on.
So what happened now?
Now, what is happening? What is happening? We are restoring now. What is happening in the latter part of January? We're going off frequently. But what is happening now? Last week we went like 4 days. It wasn't blinking, except if your feeder had problem or the transformer in your community had problem. Because, as I said, we increased the supply. Now we are taking 60 megawatts without even paying for their money. We managed to talk to them when the government promised that they will give us the money to pay. We went and talked, we increased, while at the same time working domestically. So last week and before last week, we were a little bit stable. Now coming into this week, the peak increasing. And Senator Dylan, we are on a daily basis adding. The demand is when the request, even for industries are coming to connect. As we connect, last week, Charlie, in my office, they wanted 8 megawatts. Yes. Communities want to get connected. As you connect, you increase the load. As you connect, and at the same time, generation will be flat. You will the load shedding will come because if you don't have this,
That's the issue.
My father, and you can share the concern with LERC because I'm sure it will tie together.
Senator, now you're done?
No, Senator Jala,
Yes, so, we're paying attention here.
yes.
Sorry, Mom.
Look, let's face it, Chief, all of us. The cost of goods in this country is also tied to things. Or electricity, because the buying first. Industries can't come to this country in the absence of stable, reliable power. What is this holistic plan? It may not be today. What do we need to do as a country and government within more than 20 to 25 years, every day, every year with the same thing? The same thing that Waka came to power, he said no car will get stuck on the road. And it may sound funny. The reason he said it is because we know exactly which part of the country cars used to get stuck every year to the same places. And by the time the dry season comes, we're going, okay, the following year, the same thing. LEC is an asshole. Please, my daughter, before somebody say a question, I talk about E-Y-E. And you know, it's a problem. That balance with a lot of other things that can carry the country. What is the holistic plan that we can tackle?
Thank you.
Make it a priority.
Thank
And lastly, I think this question should be for Elias. What is the charge per kilowatt hour, and why is it most expensive in Liberia than anywhere in West Africa? If I may be wrong.
Okay. Quickly, Senator Dillon, and thank you for that question. We can commit at LEC. If the government can, we just submitted the last cabinet from our presentation that the government should, for the temperatures, to prepare for the next grass season, we don't have no excuse. Next grass season, we should get 100 megawatts of thermal plant now. Yeah, 100 megawatts of thermal plant now. And we've been able to move fast to identify those thermal plant generators in Finland, Pakistan, India, to bring them immediately. So by the end of this month, we're supposed to issue LC to quickly earmark those on while we're looking for the money to get those thermal plant on the ground. 10 months time will be done. That's the quick fix for the short term. Then on the holistic aspect, then what I was talking about, we have in the Puebla 250 megawatt gas power plant, supposed to be in the Buchanan to be put there. Then we have the St. John 360 megawatts coming on board. With the feasibility is almost done. We have the Simport 2. We currently moving the world that is taking the lead of that. And we'll have 200 megawatts solar, the manual substation working on. So when you combine on the holistic in the next 3 years, part of our plan, you have close to 1,000 megawatts.
3 years.
No, not 3 years. I'm not saying 3 years. I said, when you combine all those ones, the first 200, that way, because that's gas power plant, you already have the machine. Once you have the machine, you don't need to manufacture it. It's just a deployment, which will take 3 years. But if it is manufactured, it will take 36 months, plus another 36, that's 4 to 5 years. So up to 2035 before that 1,000 come up. 2030, we are, in addition to what we have now, added to the 200 to 300, we can get close to 500 megawatts. And that cover our base load. Our projection for this year is for 2026, 254 megawatts when you add all the mining companies, everything. By 2030, it will be close to 550 to 580 megawatts when you put all together. So we need to match that, responding to Senator Dillon's question, holistically so we can address that problem. But immediately to address the next crisis, so Liberian people will not be off and on. When in case we don't have power from Côte d'Ivoire, we can put our generator on. We move on. We produce electricity to everybody.
500 megawatts, you're talking about will cost nothing less than 150 million. and it will take more than 1 year to set up.
No, it depends. That's what I said. If you have the generator already available, it's just a deployment. And while the shipment is coming, the site is being prepared. So we've worked on all those. The engines are new in 60 megawatt new engine available, another 16 megawatt new engine available. Once the money is available, while the shipment is coming, we prepare the site. Everything, 10 months can be deployed.
So before every hour you come in, I'm from Montreal County.
Yes, sir.
What happened in Artington, Clay Ashton, Rossville, Tootie, and those places? What happened?
We are connecting them.
How long? For how long?
We started last year, 2025, to connect. We went places, Groveville, all around there. We've done the assessment. First, we go, we do assessment to know the BOQ, to do the mapping, everything. That's the new thing, so it will help us in the smart metering.
What should I call you back there concerning Montreal?
No. Anytime, sir.
Anything else in next week?
No, next year I'll be here.
So that's if.
Yeah, you can call me back on Kinshaman because we've done that assessment to go as far as.
Okay.
Yeah, earlier I was going to kill them.
Yeah, Senator. The question was, why is the tariff so high, right?
Yeah.
You see, the tariffs went by modules. The tariffs went by modules. And those modules consider all of this cost that LEC incurs, will match it, then how we can come up with the tariff. So if LEC costs very high, definitely the tariff will be high. So if LEC cost of operation drops, then the tariff will drop. I agree with you that one of the highest tariffs in the Eastern region, but just as recently as December last year, we declared a new tariff for LEC, which dropped by 2 cents. It used to be 24 cents and now it dropped to 22 cents a kilowatt hour. So if LEC get more efficient, whereby their cost of operation reduces, then automatically we'll put their cost into our model to drastically reduce.
So right now the ordinary people or the customers are the ones feeding LEC cost, operation cost. By the kilowatt per hour that you charge them.
But
They are feeding the brunt.
But there's no other way to do that, because LEC, yeah, I mean that's me doing the best practice. There's no other way to do that because LEC, we as a regulator, we have to make sure that LEC remain viable at the same time we protect the people that we shouldn't pay more. But LEC to be viable. So if one day you're electricity, you have to pay for it. So until the cost, LEC total operating cost reduces, then as it is reducing, the tariff reduces. Like the last time we did a tariff 3 years ago, their cost was slightly higher, so the tariff was high. This quarter we did it, their cost reduced, so the tariff reduced. So in 3 years' time, we will apply for tariff again. Probably by that time we'll get the flat rate, the government into place, and then we'll have the smart meter into place, because LEC cost is high, mainly because of the losses. The power tech.
So can you document LEC cost and submit it to my office in the interest of time for the hearing?
But I cannot LEC website.
Can you document LEC cost of operation that inform the kilowatt and submit it to my office so I can know what to do?
Okay.
Thank you.
So nobody say have a follow-up?
Yeah, but he used a word, he said when LEC gets more efficient, then they will drop the tariff. So that goes to say LEC is inefficient.
No, I was trying to
LEC is improving.
No, I was trying to say that they are gradually improving, and my point mainly getting towards their losses.
Yeah, so you are the regulator.
Yeah.
Have you been able to establish why LEC is inefficient and also work with them to improve their inefficiency?
Yeah, this is
He said that he also said that the MP said that I think about 53%
Incorporate for the 2%.
Yeah, 27% to power tax. And
Well, Senator, one of the
yeah, so the point is the inefficiency. Those who make efforts to get connected to LEC grid cannot be punished because of LEC's inefficiency. Their poles are falling. You call me 1,000 times, you're not getting anybody to come. So LEC is inefficient. What are you doing to make LEC to be efficient so that the tariff can drop?
When I was referring to that inefficiency, I was referring
That's
to
a reality.
That's the reality, but don't depend. This is not on you, that is on all of us, so don't feel.
I was referring to the losses LEC incurs. Of course, to be truthful, those who are involved in the power tariff in the LEC go get it, so LEC employees are involved. And then when the good thing is, when the management sees them, they take immediate action. But back then was, if that test, they come down, automatically, because they said, any company that is making business and you lost it 40%, you're not able to recover. So your cost will always go high. So in that context, I was trying to speak.
Thank you.
Senator Brown.
Thank you, President. Let me say thanks to the MD and the commissioners from the energy. LERC, sorry. Because my portion is on this year. I come from Maryland.
Yeah, we have a full agenda here.
I come from Maryland.
So, yes, that's for how you.
My questions will be restricted to Maryland, the Southeast. And mainly it has to do with the prolonged power outage in our county and other counties. As chair of the Maryland Legislators, we've done some investigations. We called in LERC several times. We've had some discussions with LEC Energy sometimes. And what LEC Energy has told us is that before they were contracted by LEC oversee the power distribution in that area, there was another company that was hired by LEC to do the metering, and not metering, but installation of wires and transformers. And they said these wires and transformers that were installed by this company are substandard. As a result, these substandard materials cannot withstand the tension of the current. So that's why when they receive current from the Ivory Coast, you see current in Harper, sometimes some part of Playboy, but from some part of Playboy all the way to Fishtown Refugee, the power cannot be sustained. And so I don't know what LEC can say to this. If it is true, what is the remedy? How can we correct the situation? Because every now and then, towns and villages all along the way, all the way to Fishtown, I'm sure you want some time ago, that prompted one of the communications to you. It's because of substandard materials. That's the first thing I want to do. This prolonged power outage, how can we resolve it in the region? Thank you. That's the first question. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Senator. As our discussed with Senator, our problem is actually generation. There's no question about it. Until we can address the issue of generation and also investing in the power sector, there's no way, even the tariff will go down. In other jurisdictions, because electricity is a social product, if you want to use cost reflective, all my expenses, when I say my LEC expenses into the power production, to use that in a formula to charge people will be around 60 cents or 70 cents, which is bad. That's what government put in to come in and invest in the sector. That's number one. Number two, on the southeast side, Maryland, LEC franchise LEC Energy. The EU did that with a private contractor from Limba all the way into the Maryland side to do the true WAP under the Ministry of Mines and Energy to do that whole electrification. And I said from the beginning, those things were done around 15 years ago. As part of our own, from 2013, 2012, those cross-border electrification projects done. And when you take that, it's around more than 10 years. Some of those conductors, transformers, the lifespan of transformer, by the time you go 3, 4, 5 years, you need to replace them. And these things cost money. And over there, I'm told that recently, maybe when LEC Energy came, that's the time people started even paying. And that's why you have the legacy debt today with Cote d'Ivoire. 28 million when the government came into power, the legacy debt. When President Walker went to Cote d'Ivoire, you had $28 million on the books. So when we came, we decided to pay the current bills, but that doesn't solve the problem of the incoming bill. So in Maryland, we need to upgrade our whole network, even some of the material we send them now. The power outage, everybody feels it. If we're supposed to get 50 and we're getting 30, the 20 gap, Monrovia will feel it, everybody will feel it. So what is happening now? We signed PPA with Cote d'Ivoire 50 megawatts. But we go to some extent, we go up to 60. 5 to 8 megawatts for cross-border, the rest for Monrovia and its surrounding. Until we can increase our generation, we will still continue to have outages, load shedding. That's why I'm begging the legislature. You've done well by allocating a budget. That money you allocated, that is going to go a long way on the smart metering side for us to make savings and increase our billing, to get money to invest in the southeast. Once we invest there, we make our franchisee to perform properly. Because when you want to hold the man accountable, he tells you, well, XYZ we don't have. And we as LEC, we don't have money to invest to improve the grid. So all these things like the chicken and the egg. So I will give it to Tom on the technical side to quick question.
Distinguished members of the Senate. Honorable, let me answer your question about the issue of sustainable material being used on the project. I think the person already gave you chemistry. That project was done by the EU on owner's engineer.
It was funded by the EU, it was not done by the EU.
Okay, that was funded by the EU. Owner's engineer, that every material that was ordered went through for factory accepted tests, and those materials were certified before shipped. Like the bossman said, after a period, there has to be a lot of maintenance work along the line. That line was under operation for a long period before LEC Energy took over. So LEC Energy took over just at the time of the high maintenance period. So we are working along with LEC Energy. We also have been supplying some of our materials and they are being replacing them. Another point on our whole network is the operational configuration. There's just one line coming from Cote d'Ivoire. It goes all the way there. There is no back feed, there's no alternative feed. What we call the N-1. So when there's a fault on each section of that line, everybody gets affected. You have to go back and do that. So all of these, and the thing about electricity is dynamic. You may try to do something small and start to grow. As it starts to grow, you know that long when it starts bringing happen. It moves to Pluto, it moves to Fishtown, it moves that way. As you try to grow, you have to design the network and put in investment to have all of the protection on all of the gadgets. that which the government refers to that at least we should try to invest into that. However, we are working extensively with the military, even with Jungle Power, to also make sure that we have these investments done. Electricity is dynamic. You spend money today, after 5-6 years, you got to reconfigure it and spend more money into that. So we are moving into that, and like the government said, our pastoral appeal, we just have 50 megawatts. Our budget to transform, 50 million, our budget to transform, just a generation alone, like Honorable President said, is around 150 million if we're going to do our 100 megawatts. That's the minimum that we need. 50 million, it will just go, and we still have big gaps. So our passionate plea here is that we have to work to do everything we can with our team, all our franchisees, to appeal and come to you.
I mean, thank you. I take that, but the point I was stressing is that it's not merely within the region. You have power in the county, but this power cannot extend to other parts. That has been the issue. You see, the power is from Agricos, it's in the county, but cannot go beyond certain areas. And that's why they said these areas that the power cannot go to have substandard materials.
Okay.
And these substandard materials cannot stand the tension from the county.
Okay.
That's the point.
Yeah, just exactly what you're saying. JEP has similar problem in Banga. When we were supplying JEP was taking it directly from Dalanisa. The medium voltage was coming there. When I was at the CLSG, heading the CLSG, we built a 225 kV, which can cover close to 200 kilometers. You have 132 kilovolts that can go long distances. So what we did, we took JEP from the Dalanisa and put it right to the Kepa substation. Today you see today, Banga is okay. Yeah. So what we intend to do, I forgot to mention that in my explanation. We are closing the loop in the whole Liberia. So we are taking it from Clay all the way to Babulu, 66 kV line to carry the high power there. Then from Babulu connect to Foya. Then from this place here, Bukena, Grand Basso, go to Sano, Grand Cru, connect Grand Gilet. We close the loop. Then in the Botuta, we take it from Botuta, come to Zozo, into Salai, all the way along the Madekamo Power. So what we can do with your situation, we just need to improve the transmission line. As Tom said, at the beginning it was people. Now, as it extend, the more you extend the line, the more it drop. Right. The voltage drop. The more you extend the line, the more, until you can come with a conductor, which you need to invest in, to connect everybody around there, the power increase. It happened right in Johnsonville. Initially, it was around police station, turning point. But as we move, until we establish a power, we install transformer. Different, those are technical words, but it's something that we can look at, working with JEP to see how we can address that problem. Tom, I want you to take note so that we can see how best in terms, when the power is there, it's just a question of improving the line and the connection, we can do something like that. We can do something on that one.
Thank you, MD. I appreciate it. Let me say to LERC, how you say you are still doing the tariff for the Southeast with LEC Energy. Is that true?
Yeah, so new tariff.
New tariff.
Yes.
But they are doing metering. They are doing billing. So what tariff are they using?
Currently the on flat rate and the on test.
No. You are not that in Harbour and Playboy. We're not on flat rate anymore. Largely, people are paying by meters. I know that. Yeah. They are giving meters out.
Yes. Yeah.
Only in the interior. In the interior,
I understand.
Yeah.
Those who are being metered now, they're on the current LEC rate. All right. Those who are metered now, but we do their own tariff because that own tariff will come from their own cost of production.
You remember we discussed it in the caucus meeting the last time they tried. I think it was 6 months now.
It's a process, Senator.
My last question, President, is that who is actually monitoring the energy in the region? Is it LEC or LERC?
Senator, all of the utilities are regulated by us.
I know regulated, but I said monitoring their performance.
I'm coming there. The previous day we had our inspection team leaving from our local going there regularly. But now we have an office there as part of our decentralization plan. So we have an office there where our people receive, they follow up on late energy from time to time. When there are issues, we urge them to correct it immediately.
Thank you. Thank you, President.
So we have two more. Senator Chair. Senator Chair. Followed by Senator Wani.
Thank you, President.
Senator Chair.
Mine is not question per se. I just wanted to.
I
We have a full agenda. We have about 6 instruments to debate.
Wow, yes, mine will be very brief. I just wanted to speak to the efficiency issue raised by some of my colleagues. And I think the reason for that, in my opinion, could be the kind of governance model that you are using. That for you and that for the LERC. Now, LEC, if you look all over the place, we don't find LEC. LEC probably just at the waterfront or Bushrock. I live in Marshall. When I have a problem, if you want to check your cost of your building, what have you, you see how much I spend every month. If I have a problem, I have a 3-phase. If I have a problem, I call. The response time is so long. Sometimes not at all. You call so many times. You call shut up. You want to shut up. So I think decentralization is key. I'm happy with that because I want to ask LERC the same question about whether they are making efforts to decentralize. Because how are they regulating the private operators in the country? Are they doing that from Monrovia? In your case, Monserrate is big. Monrovia is big. You can supervise from Bushrock Island, from Waterside. You need to decentralize. And you talk about and believe me or not, if you check, that will be one of the reasons for the high rate of power theft. Check that out. Your absence from the community, you know where to be found. All kinds of people all over the place, but all kinds of things. They say LEC people. Hello LEC. I mean, check that out. That's very key. Please try to decentralize your operation because so that this issue of efficiency can come about, the cost of electricity can come down because it affects everything, which is a broader framework of reducing the cost of living. And for me, that's very key. Thank you. That's all my intervention.
Okay, if I may, thank you, Senator. The good news is we've started that. We've started the FBB feeder-based unit, district offices. Marshall, we have that, and that's what you see. I think, if my understanding from, without being defensive, with the chairman from LERC, the efficiency is on the losses side, because we are not on smart grid. People, the issue of power theft, the only way to solve it is on the spot. But decentralization, we have feeder-based unit. Marshall is covered by our district office there. Then we have Kakata involved. done that. We've started this. Yeah, and we have our, maybe we will improve our publicity around it, but we are indeed, like in bombing, if there are issues in bombing, our feeder-based unit covering bombing will quickly address that. In Bikana also, feeder-based unit around, we have those, and those are things that have already been happening us since we took over to respond in time. Yeah, so we do have.
And the non-core Bikana means I put it by on.
Yes, ma'am. And we are trying our best. Our team went over the weekend to do the full assessment in the Bikana area. We'll be finishing with that assessment to take decision and move on.
Yeah, we requested July airline.
Before the 26th.
Before the 26th, we gotta leave on.
One question.
Yeah, the district office is out there.
Yeah, I saw the comedian.
Okay, let me get on one question.
Boyd.
Yeah,
I think after the hearing, we deferred everything to tomorrow, since we're having session tomorrow. So after the hearing, we defer every item on the agenda.
Yeah, I want to find out, people doing some withholding from customers, are you remitting those withholding to government revenue?
Okay,
because we the budget here, it came up and
yes, what we withhold, withholding are in different categories. There are some withholding we are remitting.
Yeah,
we're current on that.
Yeah, which one are current?
So, say like from employees, contractors who withhold, we pay to LRA.
The one you take out monthly. Every month, I think when you recharge your meter, there's a percentage that you take out.
Yeah,
you're supposed to remit to.
No, what happened? There was a sending a letter from the Minister of Finance because of the peculiar problem of LEC in red, and LEC needed support from the government. So the issue was it? Is it fixed?
It's a fixed charge.
It's a fixed charge.
Yeah. We're trying to get clarity on that.
Yeah, you see, the fixed charge is just like service charge, like bank service fee for operating your account. You know, every month they take late fee from you. So that's the fixed charge.
Late fee?
Yeah. Like for example, if you open an account, every month they will take $1.
So it happened at the beginning of the
for your
month.
first purchase.
Okay.
Yeah, for your first purchase.
So it's not meant to go into government revenue. That's not the purpose.
No, that's 2% goes to LEC to also help them for further expansion.
Okay.
Network maintenance and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I didn't want to. They had a gentleman agreement. Okay. The first our gentleman agreement, but now found out they
only taking for your first charge.
Yeah, that's what I know. Okay, I just wanted to find out.
You done?
Yeah.
Senator Archimo, file Senator Lindner.
Yes, just quickly. Let me commend you for the efforts made to reach my area.
Which area?
Area 6. But we were so excited. But now the excitement becoming discouraged. One, the post and the knives become your white elephant project.
The what?
White elephant now, the knife comes from. Secondly, please forgive me for my ignorance in this area. I'm not an electrician, I don't know anything about it. Is it possible that anybody can just give meter in this world, the modern life we're living in with all the technology, I mean, because at my house, you give me a card, right? Okay. And the card for the CIU, okay, the CIU, the meter, and everything, it's a set that you give. Is it possible that people can just go and now be stealing it as what is happening in your sense? Can you please speak to that?
Yeah, your question is really heavy and good. As it is now, you can see the meter unless you can tell us for us to block it, somebody else can use it. That's what we're trying to stop with the smart metering. And that's why you are financing. You put in the budget to bring smart meter. With the smart meter, you can take that meter, you go anywhere. You can use it because it is geolocated. No matter what happens, it has to work in that particular house. When you take it out, it doesn't work. But the current metering system that we're going to replace, yeah, that can happen unless you can call your meter number. Once you call out to say the store your meter, will block it. Nobody will use it. That's the manual system. But the smart meter will replace all those.
Sarah,
Thank you, Coach.
process will be upgraded.
Thank you, Coach. My first question goes to the LEC Managing Director. You said that the Cote d'Ivoire government has been supplying us with card. How much of your bill that you have paid recently to them?
Yeah. Thank you, Senator. Recently, in December, we paid 11 million on the current bill.
This gone December.
Yeah, this gone December, we paid 11 million, 7.1 million cash, 3.9 million LC. Now, today, we just paid Cote d'Ivoire $15 million, then Guinea $3 million, Transco $2 million, altogether $20 million to maintain the stability.
Mr. Director, thank you very much. You know, when we leave, I left from here, I went to Cote d'Ivoire, and then I was confronted by one of my colleagues who happened to be the senator. The Senate gave him a message to me to bring it to this Senate that we have not been paying our bills. And to hear from you that the bills have been paid, I thank you very much. The other issue is, when the regulatory agency says that when there are outages, you inform them. So when you inform them, then what do they tell you to do next? The point here is, when your light goes off, my chicken feet get rotting in the freezer. Every time your light goes off, my food gets rotting. So when you tell regulators, what do they tell you to do? Do they tell you to pay me?
No. All right. So
if they don't tell you to do anything, that means they have to find a different definition for their regulatory program. Because just telling them that, oh, our light went off yesterday, then they say, okay, try again. That is not anything that's supposed to be within their job description. That's one. Two, the outages are just increasing, and I understand what you have just said. But remember, this government is a rescue government. We are a rescue. Opposition or not opposition, we are a rescue. So, and you are part of the rescue. So, when your light goes off, you should be seriously concerned about the citizens. Because LEC is just something new that is coming now. Honestly, you've been doing well compared to the ages we have lived in the past. When light goes, it goes for 1 month, 2 months. Today, that is very different. So I gotta give you credit for that. But rescue, you should always think rescue. That is very important. Everything we do in this country here is political. So if $50 million is not enough, then maybe the next budget we need to be talking, because we're talking about rescue. Thank you. LERC. When something is not working, what do? You replace it, right? You replace it. Councillor, you and I have met so many times on LIB Energy. Why you set LIB Energy on your lap and they are not performing? They are not, and you know that. You know that this company is not performing. I don't even know whether it is a company because it does not have a penny to buy level. It has absolutely nothing. And LEC is giving them small wire here, carry one wire, carry the raw G, then they carry put it up, then they can OG that wire was small. That's all you're doing to LIB Energy. They are hurting us. They are not helping us. We have a discussion the last time. You want to do tariff. They got meters in the city in Grand Juliet County. Only in their office you can tap your meter. We had that discussion. Only in their office that the people who they have given meter to can tap their meter. And we said to them, decentralize the payment so that people who are selling scratch cards, like in Monrovia here, they can just go and tap their meter. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the night, they can tap their meter. But that has not happened. So what is actually encouraging you to continue to hold LIB Energy in the southeastern region? I don't see the incentive for me. The entire citizen rate of the southeastern region, there's no benefit. The wires, the UN funded the wiring of those 3 counties in the past. So does that mean now that the UN has left that LIB Energy that you are giving new contract, they can't buy a new wire? And they've been sitting there. The question for you, LERC, how old is LIB's contract with you?
With LEC.
Yeah, how old is that contract?
So the minimum? Yeah, it's about 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, quickly to respond to you, Senator. I completely agree with you. We've been receiving complaints about LIB Energy. As part of our own plan this year, we've invited LIB Energy. We've established a KPIs for them. We cannot establish ourselves KPIs to be go-ahead accountable, and we can hold them accountable. So, as part of that process, we've appointed a dedicated team from LEC to monitor. They've done their evaluation, they've brought a report. We've invited their CEO, who is currently in Abidjan, will be coming over for us to sit and look at that, so that we can hold them. We provide them the tools, the support they need to supply. Because what you need, reliable electricity for all your people over there. So we want to establish those KPIs that will make sure you have those reliable. I can assure you, Senator, with this administration, as I agree, rescue. We have to ensure we are part of it, and to ensure that the people get that electricity. So we are addressing as part of our own budgeting problem. I think for Grand Juliet, we just sent, was it yesterday? Yesterday, we sent our batch of supplies to replace some of those cables that are giving them problems. You know, usually what happens with franchisee, when you franchise, they tell you, well, as part of the contract I have with you, if I'm to do this, I have to factor in the price of the tariff. And we have our regulator, like the chairman said, we look at the formula. Whatever inputs we do in terms of expensive nature, they factor into the partner. So we absorb the cost as LEC. We absorb the cost so that the people there will not be charged. So what we are doing now to move forward, we want to help them to solve some of these major problems so they don't have a scheme. So if they can't deliver, we get rid of them. We bring new people on board. So hold on for the next time we get going towards maybe the 10th quarter. We come again, we will bring good news for you. What we are doing now on LRC side.
Thank you, LEC. Are you aware that the county government has funded LRB Energy with $400,000 of county money? So it's a question for you.
Recently?
Recently?
No, you're not aware.
You're not aware. All right. So that means we will get some information. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
All right, I think that will be okay. Sir Joseph, the closing.
Thank you, President.
And then we'll discharge the witnesses.
Let me say thank you for the project inventor. What you people did, we want to say thank you for that. And my colleague heard ask a question about Maserati. I'm one of the senator too from Maserati, and you said you're focusing as well in Todi and other areas. We want to say thank you for that. I just want to stress few issues. The hospital was connected. It's helping a lot of changes. And then the administrative building, Bentor, also connected. Unfortunately, the only vocational school there not connected. The meter, the transformer is right there. I think they just need a meter and wire to connect them. And then every night the people see the light, but then the horses are not connected. And I think you people are losing because you already have the grid there. What remains is that to connect the horses so they can be able to pay the bill. So it's important. You people have done a good job. It's important to connect the horses in the Benta area for the good work you people have done. And then I want to ask, we are generating electricity from other countries. What do you think? Do you have a plan that we can graduate from that situation anytime soon? You mentioned that? Yeah. Okay, I will get it from my colleagues. But again, when like we're taking electricity from Africa, when with the wires coming, the grill continue to drop. Are you calculating those numbers and what have you?
Yeah, those are losses that we absorb as LEC. We take the power from comes to the paper from there. Before you can reach from all the technical losses are there. We absorb those.
So are you in communication with them?
With who?
With our friends from Africa?
No, they are not responsible for that. It's like when you buy your goods, you put in your car, you take your car, your goods, anything happen to your goods, you go.
No, but MD is a technical.
No, they have transmitter, which is transfer, which I was heading for. That's different from Cote d'Ivoire itself. Cote d'Ivoire gives you the supply. Transmit the supply. Now, the transmission company transport it, the absorbment of the cost, then the utility, including LEC, EDG, from Guinea, EDFC, and CRND, who all divide the loss along the way.
So in a nutshell, what they giving us, what's the difference in the losses?
Differences in terms of our numbers?
Yes.
For us, what we do, we calculate our own, at the end of the day, we have a global loss cost feeding. For the 2%, 15% being technical, 27% commercial. So on the transmission land side, is within a 50%.
So there's no way to renegotiate that?
No, it's not. But all we can do is just improve, not only with the power coming. Once it is on our grid, we calculate our losses along that technical front. The only way we reduce the losses, you modernize your grid. You improve your transformer. You understand? Replace your overloaded transformers you split it, reduce the people on the various transformer. If the grid is too old, replace it. Like what we've been discussing all throughout the day. Like in the southeast, where in the areas where the power dropped, we replace the whole day in one county, where the power is strong now. We're able to connect through the Kepa substation. People in Nimba, they are stable now, and Senator Wayne can speak to that.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, so we're doing that across, and we are also through the value chain. We're placing the poles. You can see so many areas now we have concrete poles, steel pole, metal replacing because our wooden poles. Some of them get rotting when they dropping. It helps with the fire cost, and all those things cost money, investment. That's why my colleague was saying that we are pleading maybe next budget as we go out to seek for money. We ourselves too, we really appreciate the 50 million. Going forward, we still need more to invest and to make our viable. So thank you, President.
All right, I think that was the last concern. Maybe the committee will put together to recap everything. And all of these counties that need answers can work with the committee to make sure that we fill in those gaps. That's why we call the discussion if nobody else has anything to say.
If you don't have foreign, if you can't before July, we'll bring you back.
You already made that statement on our own.
Remind you of that.
So, the fire
President, please. It is now. The meter that we are using, in the absence of the smart meter that you promised, I cannot move it to another, I can talk, or I cannot move it to a house.
You can use your meter. When your meter is stolen, just notify or block it.
No, what I'm talking about.
You want to move it from one house to another one?
Yes.
Yeah. Just let us know so that we can capture your location. Because when you're taking it from your current location, you have to inform us, so we'll put in our database.
Okay, because somebody just sent me text for me to
somebody moving the video. Please include that the LEC will submit that LEC operation because they are affecting the kilowatt per hour.
Yeah, the committee will work on it.
Thank you.
Please rise.